Good evening. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, the 2nd of December, 2020. All right, my friends, interesting times. What the market's waiting on are a couple of things. In the U.S., of course, we're waiting to hear, can Congress get anything done with a relief bill? We keep hearing that both sides are presenting things, but I don't know how much movement there will be, and we're kept in the dark on that at this point. On OPEC, we're waiting to see eventually what OPEC's going to do. Let's see where we're at on some of those prices down the road here. I'm used to pointing to that on my futures, unfortunately. That's where it would be. But they're waiting on that. Nobody knows. Supposedly, we're going to get an announcement tomorrow, but OPEC has been very closed-mouthed about what's taking place. We finished with testimony from Fed Chair Powell and Treasury Secretary Mnuchin on Capitol Hill. That's probably the last time that Treasury Secretary Mnuchin will go before those two committees. I think he's done a fine job of it, by the way. They both explained their positions as to what they're at. We know there was a discrepancy with the Treasury taking its money back, but when you listen to what was said, if Congress wants the money, it's there. Take it, especially given the fact that if President Trump is no longer the president, you'll have a new president in there, and he can do as he sees fit. And he's chosen Miss Yellen to be the Treasury Secretary, who I think will pass the Senate with flying colors. Don't get mad at me. I'm assuming that President-elect Biden takes office because President Trump doesn't get enough electoral votes. We won't know until the Electoral College. It's interesting that the president's already saying he may announce on the inauguration day that he's running for president in 2024. Nothing would surprise me. Absolutely nothing. So as we look at this PAVE, P-A-V-E, I bring it up because I'm of the opinion that regardless of who takes office as president and regardless of the outcome with the runoff in Georgia for the 2 Senate seats, that there's going to be infrastructure discussed and probably passed to get things going. The Fed wants it. We know that the Biden administration wants it, and I'm sure President Trump, given the right circumstances, would try to get it done too. We'll see what would happen if he were in office. But we filled part of the gap, and now the market's sort of marking time. When you take a look at the chart action, it's one of higher lows and now lower highs. So you're doing this. You've gone into your pause. Let's assume the market breaks through the 2021 barrier to the downside. Then the 1992 level is the support. Let's assume it doesn't and gets over 2071. Doesn't take out this 2021. Well, that would then put into play again higher lows, higher highs, and you then have a look at the 2117 level. So we're at a very important juncture. And if you look at momentum, it favors you're going to break. Whenever you get this and you have a reading, and I'll take you to this, both numbers here, were they ever over 80? Both over 80, back there, and over here. Then it was lost. When you lose those readings of both over and they're not gotten back right away, price and the 18-day average often make a run at each other. The word is often, not all the time. I believe it happens most of the time, but I've seen where it doesn't. So where would I be wrong on my thinking, getting over the most recent high? Then I'd have to say, the odds don't favor it. Right now I'm looking for the 1992 to be hit. In SMH, what happens when you get up to an upper Bollinger Band? You've run into a brick wall. That doesn't mean you can't push on the wall and move it. Sometimes knock it down, but it's rare. More times than not, you hit it, you get dizzy, and you back off. Well, think of the price pulling back a little. That could be what's in the cards here. As long as you have that embedded reading, I contend that on breaks, the pros are going to be buyers until that is long, looking to get back to that number. You lost the embedded reading here. This is why I look at it so often. And when that occurs, because I believe that momentum leads price. Price doesn't lead momentum. That when that occurs, price and that 18-day average are going to make a run. Now you'll say, boy, you were wrong. I don't know. I think that's where the pros used that rally to go short, and now they're trying to get to that 18-day average. Again, if you got over this number, then I think I'm wrong. Barring that, I'm looking for the 18-day average of closes. In XLE, You didn't make it down to this, you lost the embedded reading and you never did make it to these averages. So the question is, can you get back here? You have a pattern of a lower high and now you got higher lows. It's a mess. I don't know what the chart wants to do. In the QQQ, you're into the resistance and trying to develop the embedded reading. If you develop it, then that tells me on the pullbacks, I think the pros are going to be aggressive. But this is where money's coming out of the market, not flowing in my opinion. And I know that doesn't sound right to a lot of people, but momentum is saying that. The emerging markets, you had that one day of the lost reading and you snapped right back. You've kept it. So as long as, remember, you can lose the embedded reading one day. It's the next day you've got to get it back, and literally right away. And that often happens by a jump in the market. Here you were down hard. Look at this next day, you just jump. Look for that pattern. Start learning those. They're interesting patterns. And as you can see, the market's holding on to those gains so far. In GLD, you lost the embedded reading. Am I any longer bearish? Nope. How many days have you lost it? Well, did you lose it yesterday? Yep. Did you lose it again today? Yep. So you'd have to re-embed. Nope. I think you're going back to the 18-day average to fight a battle. So as far as I'm concerned, this leg of the downside has come to an end. That doesn't mean I've joined the bull camp. Same thing in the gold miners. I think you're going now back up to the 200-day since you've been able to cross that, to the 18-day because you've crossed the 200. This was the goal. Just to get back when you lost the reading. You didn't lose it here, but that was the closest average. When you close over it, I've done work, and some of it says you're going to this number, others says you've met it. So I can't come to a conclusive, what I think works most of the time. Nothing works all the time, most of the time. TLT. Wouldn't be surprised if you hit the lower Bollinger Band. What did I tell you if you closed under the other day, this 158.62? My subscribers know I stuck my neck out a country mile. I said if I get that, I'd be looking then to see can you make a run at that Bollinger Band. Seems to be what we're doing. In a downtrend, resistance 158.50. Not even close to being oversold. FXE, I think you're too overbought to buy over a Bollinger Band. How's that? Embedded, yeah, but when you're over the band, there's another rule. You're overbought even with the embedded reading. Wait, and I tell you what to do in my report. You'll see what I talk about there. As I said, in my currency report that is out now. By the way, when I put these reports out, they're up 3 business days. So I don't know if that means it ends Friday. I don't know if tomorrow's counted as the first day. I don't know if we count the day I put it out. I'll ask my tech people. It's either going to end Friday or Monday. I don't worry if it's there the weekend or not. You have a short period of time if you want to view it. Why do I do that, by the way? Because it's good now. It's not meant to be going back and looking at something. That would be great if we're just a classroom. We're not. This is real money. So I put it out. It's a 20 to 25 minute long video. It covers monthly, weekly, daily charts. The seasonals, what goes on from this time of the year into the first quarter. You get to see that in bull bear years. I think we're in a bull year, so I show you that and I hone in on that. Then I carry you into where the price counts are, and that's our proprietary tool in our QT Market Center that I use a lot. And it gives us an idea, zones. If the market's going to follow through, basis your other work, where might the market head? We headed to the first number that we've been at for 3 months. Yeah, it's hard to believe. Installed there. When a market consolidates against that number, not surprising to go to the second count. Where's that count? It's in the report. Go to our website, under research, it's there. It's labeled clear as can be, 12/2, today, currency. You have a great day. I'm